Welcome to Scramble Game Show. In this show, we're starting a series of Mandarin lessons. We call it Speak Mandarin in 500 Words. And we have some students here in the studio to teach you how to speak Mandarin. And they, in the process, also will learn speak Mandarin. Okay? So we shall begin. First, this is the first hour. We're going to explain what materials we use and what process we use. First, everybody has some material. Let me explain to you, okay? First, this is the book. You all have the book, right? And this book, it says Speak Mandarin in 500 Words and has many lessons in there. We are not going to cover all the lessons. We don't have to. We only cover a few, but I guarantee you will be able to speak, and then you can continue on because we also give you a disc. Okay? This disc is the electronic copy of this book, except it's more powerful because every sentence, it has a button. You click the button, it will speak. We'll let him demonstrate. Can you demonstrate, Jiexing? See that book there? Okay? And he will go to the first lesson, for example, the first sentence. All right? The first sentence, let me read that first sentence, says, Li Taitai, Li Taitai means Mrs. Li, says, Wang 先生您早. Okay, you click.
Wang 先生您早.
Is that good? See? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You understand the meaning, right? So, Mr. Wang, good morning. That's very simple, right? So this kind of book, it basically has this kind of conversational sentences. So you can just click and hear, and you can speak. And if you already know how to speak, you can even carry a conversation with the electronic book. So that's this book and the CD, okay? Now, the other one, okay, is another DVD, is a introduction about Mandarin in general, and particularly the phonetics relates to why it's important to have phonetics and learn that correctly, because then you speak perfect Mandarin, okay? It's just like English. If you don't start good pronunciation, you develop bad accent, then people don't understand you, okay? Sometimes that's not good. So this is the introduction about that. And then third disc is that music we heard, which will show you, right, this phonetic table, okay? And you will repeat this, and we will always repeat this in the class also, so that you will know how to pronounce these symbols. Now, this symbol has two sets. One is bopomorpho, one is, looks like English letter, B, P, M, F, right? That's called pinyin method. Why is pinyin method used? Because when you try to type Chinese, how do you type Chinese? You don't have a keyboard. You don't have a keyboard that made for this kind of symbol, because keyboards generally made is English alphabet. So they try to map the English alphabet to this Chinese sound, so then you can type. So on that keyboard, you can type BP, right? Bopo, the same thing. So this type of a representation, this type of a symbol is a convenience in the English devices. It's not necessary for learning Mandarin, but it's helpful if you start typing letters. If you want to type sentences, you could use pinyin, and you can type very fast. So when I teach, I like to teach them both. I don't want to do it in schools. Oh, you learn this first and that second. In fact, you should be able to learn both together with this table. Each is 37 symbols. Double 37 is how many? Quick. 37 plus 37. 74. 74 is less than 100, right? You all know how to count to 100, can you? So it's very little. 74 symbols is not much to sort of grasp in your age, okay? I'm sure. And sometimes you already know so many words, and words are made of 5 letters, 6 letters, 7 letters, so on. So 100 or less, 74 symbols, you just have to memorize in your head. And the way to memorize is through music. You look at this table and listen to the music. I'm sure eventually the 74 will be so automatic in your head, okay? Now, once you have that, then you can use them to construct words, which we will use game to play, to pick these symbols to make words, correspond to words we learned, and then extend from those words we learned to more and more and more. It's almost like growing a little tree, right? This tall, and then one branch come out, one leaves come out, and then 2 more branches, 2 more leaves. It will multiply like summer. The tree grows so fast, and that's the process we are using, okay? By the time you finish this summer, you go back to Chinese school, okay? People will be so surprised because you are now like a big tree, have so many branches, so many leaves. You are able to extend yourself. Particularly with these things at home you can play, and you can play it on the TV. We record this session with cameras. This will be a TV broadcast, but you also have a copy. You can play it at home. You can watch yourself. You can watch with your friends. Those are all the methods helping you to grow this tree, okay? So you now understand all of this material, what it's for, and we can then begin our process, okay? Since we are actors in this show, we've got to introduce ourselves, okay? You speak to the microphone as loud as you can. What's your name?
Ya Chun.
Ya Chun, right? Okay, Ya Chun. You speak to the microphone as loud as you can.
Wen Tian Na.
Wen Tian Na, okay? Wen Tian Na reminds me a name in Chinese history. It's called Wen Tianxiang. Wen Tianxiang is a famous, it's like a prime minister level official in China in history. And he's known to be a very intelligent minister and very loyal. That name, only the last word is different from yours. Yours, Wen Tian Na. Na sounds like a girl's name, but Wen Tianxiang is that name, okay? So, see, when I tell you the story relates to your name, you now know this name, this word can relate to something else. This is called growth. You learn one word, you learn something else, you associate together, you remember, you gain that. You never forget. Later on, when you really read a history book about Wen Tianxiang is just like Winston Churchill in the English history, very famous. And if you know that, and if some Chinese people talk to you, say, what? You know Wen Tianxiang? They will be really fell off the chair. Just impressed, right? So that's how we learn. All right. You speak to the microphone.
肖鱼.
Yeah, 椒鱼, okay? This 椒 you wrote as the side as mu, as the wood side, right? Sometimes people use girl's side, okay? Girl's side means, how do I say that? It's feminine, attractive type of a description. But once it's a mu, it's a bridge. You see the difference? Huh? So the Chinese characters, the radicals, have a very different meaning when they combine together. Wood is making a table, making chairs, you use wood. Certainly, in the old days, the bridges are made of wood. That's why on the bridge, 桥 is wood on the side. Okay? Now, on the other hand, there's 玉. 玉 is a wang with at the end, right? That's jade. In China, jade is considered one of the jewelries represent luck, good luck, and goodness. Okay, so your name, because your J name, they give you this 教育. Okay, now we'll come back to you, Yachun. Although it has no correlation with Michelle, but probably because in the Chinese character, either your family, your other reasons they pick this. Ya means what? Do you understand what ya means?
It's like nice, elegant.
Right, nice and elegant, okay? Particularly for describing ladies, okay? People who are very good in music, in singing, in mannerism, okay? That's ya. Chun is spring, right? Yeah. Spring, of course, it generally is the weather season, but it represents the beginning of life. It's a hope of life. It's a growth, right? So that's your name. Okay, we got that introduction out of the way, right? Now, guess what's my name?
F.A. Chang.
Yeah, Ife Chang. E is so simple. You already know that word, right? E, that's E. Fei, what's Fei? Have you heard the word 飞机? No? That's airplane. Fei is, okay? E, Fei. In my word, my father gave me this word, means it came from a story in China describing a bird that took a flight. Okay, this I can tell you the story because the story relates your name, help you to learn words. This village has kids, farmers. They were living in the village, but one day, they saw a big bird on top of the mountain, okay, just sort of hovering there, not moving. And kids noticed, tell the parents. The parents noticed too, said the bird just sit there doing nothing. And then they thought it's a good opportunity to teach the kids, says, you see, that bird is very lazy, doesn't do anything. You don't want to learn from that bird. You want to be active, working. As they speak, the bird, okay, made a very sharp, shrieking sound, as birds usually do, but this is big bird. It made a sound. So they, of course, heard it. They startled. And then they see the bird open his wing. The wingspan is so huge and block the sun. The village all of a sudden become dark. Okay? When the sun is blocked, of course, you have shadow, and the bird is a huge wingspan, just block the sun. So this village kids all of a sudden get startled. What's happening? And at that point, the bird took off with the wingspan, fly all the way into the sky. So the parents then noticed, and now sunshine come back. So the parents had to change their story to tell them the bird was not lazy. The bird is waiting for the opportunity to do something. When they do something, it's startling and impressive because the huge wingspan carry the bird, fly into the sky, far away. So that story had created these phrases. 一鸣惊人，一飞冲天. 一飞冲天 is that phrase, and which part of that my father picked as my name. Okay? See, if you remember the story, you will never forget my name, I hope. Right? 一飞. All right, good. We all introduced ourselves, right? Now, next, we'll do the phonetic sound again, all right? Because as I said, this is very key, even though you think you know, but we will do that, all right? So why don't we play it from your CD here? It's louder, I think, compared to there. You have better control, right? All right? Can you all point your finger? da te ne ne ge ke he ji qi xi zhi chi shi zi si si yi wu yu a o e I a o an a o. One more time. Ji qi xi zhi chi shi zi si si yi wu ya o a I o an a o. Okay, good. I always like to challenge kids a little bit, okay, because life is full of challenges, and if you are able to take the challenge, you will be successful, right? So we heard all this, and you know how to say this. I am going to ask, okay, one volunteer. If you don't have a volunteer, then we all three together, and I stay quiet to sing this song, follow the music, okay? Any volunteers? Want to try? Okay, good, Jay. So when he starts the music, you can sing along with it. We all listen to you. Okay? Let's go. Excellent, excellent. You know, the last part is always tricky because they make this into a music. They are not like just reading, bo, po, mo, fo, so monotonic. So that last part is a little tricky, but I'm sure after a while you will get that. All right? Okay. So, anybody else want to try? How about you two try together? All right? Let's do one more. Very good, very good. Okay. You think you know all this sound now, right? I want to make sure. I just want to make sure. I am going to test this way. I have these bopomorpho things already made into the magnetic as you see there, right? Okay. I am going to randomly pick out of this and see who can say what the word is, what the sound is. How's that? Okay? Random. Okay. What is this? Let's see. Check your table. Okay. This one is mistake, right? This part. This is G. Check your table. Which one is? Point to the table. Right. Okay. Let's play the music and see what is the sound. G, right? G. So, but when you told me first, I thought you said G. Was it? Or G? G, okay? Remember, okay, now this is G. All right. I'm going to pick another one now. All right? Ready? Very good. We don't even have to try this one. They know Kurt. All right.
No.
Very good. I guess your tuition paid to the Chinese school is well worth it. An. Very good. All right. I tell you, you are so good. I think even Jeshing probably don't know. He probably forgotten. Huh? All right. Now, let me see. This one. Very good. You know, I have to explain why I have this mistake here, because these are the stamping cards I can get, and I stamp them. They happen to be two together, so I have no way of getting rid. So I have to use the single U. Later on, I found the single U. Okay. Now. Right, good. Looks like you are. This one is a little harder. This one is typical Chinese sound. Okay, what word do you know how to say that use this? When you
Eat.
Eat, yes. What's eat?
吃.
吃. Have you learned that word?
Yep.
Yeah. 吃.
鸭吃.
吃饭. 吃什么? Eat. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Oh, this one is probably also fairly Chinese. What word do you know? 喝.
Drink.
Yeah. How do you say drink? 喝水, 喝茶 means drink water, drink tea, right? 喝. Okay, good. Now, I think we can do this next time. I want to tell you certain games we're going to play in progression, okay? Until we really master all of this, you're almost getting there. If I flip these cards on a table, you are able to not only say the sound, but start making words, okay? For example, if you say, let's say, 波, if I put a 波, 然后 pick something, let's say, anyone. If I do something like this together, vertically, maybe, okay? 波, ang, yeah, 波, ang, bang. Any word you know that is bang? 波, ang, bang. Okay. 觉醒, 帮我们放音乐. 帮 is help. Okay? 帮. 妈妈帮我做功课. Yes. Mama help me do homework. Right? That's 帮, bang. So we're gonna use these symbols and start playing these things. Of course, we'll learn guided by this book, because it's 500 words. We're going to quickly learn that. Once you have those 500 words, you can go anywhere, you can talk, you can make people understand. Not only say good morning type of thing, but you can order menu from restaurant. You can ask for directions. You can buy things. That's the contents in this conversation. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. All right. Okay. Now, somebody has to tell me what the time is. Okay? Timeline. Otherwise, Oh, what time is it? Okay, but we didn't know when we start, so these guys should give me a little warning. Okay, all right, let's move on to the game part. This is alphabet level. The game eventually will grow, like the trees, I say. You remember this card, this grid, right? This grid this grid, each rectangle is helping you to write the words. And in this book, although it's not homework, I don't assign homework, and you don't have to do it. Only if you really want to do it, you can follow this book. And this book, every word, it shows you how to write that. But you already know. You can write your name, for example, right? You know how the stroke sequence. This will help you. Every word in this book has the sequence, so you can learn the correct way of writing that word. I'm not going to ask you to do this, fill out pages homework. It's only for you to use as a reference. But I do want you to make cards so we can play games. And that's this coming, okay? So when you print this out, cut them out, it will be cards that look like this. Let me see. Let's see. You see that? Right? It's square here, 注音, and this is your note, pinyin. I have put pinyin on top now on this design, okay? So this is on top. Pinyin, 注音, Chinese word. Then you have your English note, okay? For example, this de o do is a all or both. The meaning of that English, you can make a notes for yourself. And that's this card for, okay? And you start from beginning, maybe few at a time. By the time we finish through this 8 weeks, you will have a bunch of those cards. And then with those cards, we can play a lot of games, okay? We can play recognition of words. We can play combination of phrases. We can make simple sentences. We can then steal sentences from each other by changing the sentence into some other sentence, or by simple, it's just changing one word. And that's called Scramble. This show we are producing is called Scramble Game Show. It started out as a English language scramble word game, okay? But we are going to make that into the Chinese Mandarin scramble game. So now I'm going to explain to you the scramble process in English, which you will pick up very fast because your English is very good and you know how to play. So for example, that word is rest, right? Okay? All right. Now, the scramble cards are made in English card, doesn't have this grid, but the grid structure helps you to write Chinese, so we use the grid, okay? Now, if I do this, oops. If I do this on the board, okay, forget about this word. If I put some letters on, if you recognize a word, you tell me, and you will see sometimes people have different words that is recognized, and that process I'll explain to you how is a scramble word. E, L, okay, so far 2 letters. I, any word? Lie, okay, L-I-E, okay, right? Now, if I put another letter on, okay, quickly, what word you can make? Any word? No, right? All right, we'll just, another letter. Anything?
Fly.
Fly. Fly as the bug fly? How do you spell bug fly? F-L-Y. But if, what is that?
Five.
Do you know that word?